So, what do you eat when you're traveling? Do you have time to think about it? For some people, what they eat doesn't play a major role in a trip. It could be just about anything. They could eat anywhere. But for others, it may be essential. It's part of their routine and habits. If you enjoy organic food, which is our case study, that this may be a very big problem, especially in such a big city as Lisbon, which doesn't have a lot of tradition of organic food. And so, at a certain point of our trips, we find ourselves overwhelmed, following plans, schedules, closing hours, looking at maps, and everything. It's a challenge to find organic food, especially in touristic areas that are surrounded by the opposite, junk food. You have experienced this before, I'm sure. In main squares or attractions, you want to eat something and there are only pizzas and burgers. You can try to go to traditional or touristic specialty restaurants nearby, but you will face queues. Besides, what those places serve is international cuisine, nothing authentic with the local flavor. So you may say, yeah, but there are restaurants where you can find authentic and even cheap food. But where? Do you know? Has anyone ever told you? What if it is your first time in a city? Fact is that this is a time-consuming task, and not everyone can afford to spend that time. Last but not least, there's also the question of money. Yes, if you gave up on junk food, did not properly research that little oasis, and you want to have a traditional experience, you're going to pay the price. Plus, imagine that you're looking for something that is organic, with certificates and labels that increase the price. So what makes it so expensive? There are specific processes, policies, transport logistics until it reaches the final consumer. And there's a trendy marketing associated with the concept organic. So in Lisbon, there are urban gardens and they're becoming more popular. Here, there are also small and medium producers who are starting their own businesses. However, they're not effectively integrated in a chain of distribution, and organic products need to travel quickly to the final consumer. So we figured out we have two characters in all this problematic. First, the people who love organic food and traveling and struggle to reconcile both. Second, the producers who are still developing their businesses and becoming part of this community. How to offer a combined solution for them both? So we came up with this idea: take your roots when you're traveling and grow them. Share your roots when staying and grow them. We want to match both by proposing a community of food and cultural share, because we believe that slow cooking, spices, scent, and chatting are part of any culture. It is not wrapped to sell culture, it is experience and share.
Therefore, we would create a website platform in order to gather people physically around the table and actually make them experience these sit at a table and chat. It would be like an Airbnb, but instead of beds for food. The host would invite people, the travelers in this case, to their houses, and they could experience a fully organic meal. And that we understand by having respect both for the producers and the consumers, and with the ingredients, of course, in the process. And that would also allow people for actually taste authentic Portuguese food, not only what they would perhaps read or hear that from a hyped digital influencer or something like that. They would be able to taste all the different flavors and aromas of this cosmopolitan city. We would, of course, introduce an app because I'm sure that you guys faced this before, trying to find a restaurant in the narrow streets. But imagine this without even a sign outside, because it's a house of someone else. So it would be integrated with Google Maps, would help everyone in accessibility and portability. It would be also a network in order to engage people to share recipes, to participate in international food contests, suggest new travel destinies, because we have this intention to make this actually work sort of as a Facebook as well. We understand that it would be a key activity for us to firstly map where those houses would be and make this mediation to happen with the travelers, always ensuring that they would have the proposition they asked for in the beginning. We believe that would increase our branding reliability. And those brands, we would advertise on them, since we think in a broader sense they share our target market, which is people that are looking for places every week to travel, and also with the low cost option in mind. As time goes by, we think that we would have a lot of viral marketing. For instance, I could come here to Lisbon and experience the traditional Portuguese food at Gabriela's house, but I couldn't offer the same thing at my house because I don't have a garden, and I would suggest her to go to someone else that I know that could provide her the same. In the future, we think about adding the option of also you could rent a bedroom in some Portuguese house, so you could fully experience authentic food from breakfast to supper. Always have this communitarian, organic value in behind. And of course, it could be adapted to many other places in the world. And actually, this is in fact what we think is to create the largest community for travelers who also like and enjoy organic food. Thank you.